Hello, my name is DJ Chuang, and in this video, I want to recall all the great things, or a number of the great things that God has done in this year of 2023. And He has done some miraculous divine provisions. As I had declared my life commitments back in 2019, symbolized by the acronym MSG. Good for an Asian American like me. I have Chinese heritage. MSG standing for Multi-Asian Shame and Generosity. It's kind of evolved into mental health, shame, and generosity. And it took shape initially in 2018 when a friend of mine, Korean American therapist Eunice Lee, helped me to launch the Erasing Shame podcast, where we had honest talk for healthy living as Asian Americans in this culture and heritage of shame. And we addressed a number of issues, including mental health, as well as emotional, spiritual, relational, personal. And we've had 6 seasons now and continue to have episodes at least once a month. Sometimes we have it as frequently as every single week because we need to have these ongoing conversations. And we've discovered that this needs to continue to really begin to chip away at reducing and stopping stigma and erasing shame about mental health. So 2019, I declared my life commitment as a prayer and as accountability to you, those of you in the public eye. And I want to do things as I feel called and recognize the urgency of it. And I can't wait to raise the seed money and to do things the conventional way that requires professionalizing everything, that I'm willing and able to do things voluntarily, whether you call it passion projects or hobbies or labor of love. Some things just need to be done. And being an empty nester for the past six or 7 years now, it affords me a little more margin to really give back to society. And so for me, it's in the area of mental health and also Asian American and being Christian. So the intersection of those three circles as a Venn diagram. So 2019 was the declaration. 2022, a friend of mine named Jeff helped me to elevate my perspective and say he would help me develop a case statement and really turn my passion project with Erase Shame into Christian Asian mental health. And that's what we called the nonprofit initiative. And thanks to the fiscal sponsorship of Asian American Christian Collaborative, we got it off the ground in November of 2022, and we were able to receive some tax deductible donations and people who wanted to support our work. All my time was still voluntary. That's okay. It helped me to raise some money to cover my travel expenses and things like that. And I was able to share my testimony and encourage churches along the path of developing their mental health ministry. And that's what Christian Asian mental health uh, um, has a mission and vision to do, is advance compassion and care for Asian Americans through partnership with Asian American faith communities by helping them, resourcing them to develop mental health ministry through the 5 S's: sermons, stories, seminars, support groups, and Sabbath. And we have one church in the Los Angeles area called the Garden. And through our partnership and collaboration, we were able to launch a mental health ministry there in just 2 months, probably a world record, fastest ever. And I'm in conversation with a dozen other churches, helping them develop their steps and next steps and timelines and the implementation of those 5 ingredients to do mental health ministry. And my most recent conversation helped me to realize that, yes, the 5 S's are very doable, so it's understandable, which is great. But when it comes down to it, someone has to do the work. And so one of the first next step, once you understand the basic model for mental health ministry, is finding the right people that will do it. And so I'll unpack that in the near future as I put together a playbook or a starter guide on starting mental health ministry so that I can free me up from doing the hands-on concierge level service, which I would still love to do. But as we try to reach our ultimate goal, and this is a big, hairy, audacious goal, to activate and develop mental health ministries in 9,000 Asian American churches. That's a lot of churches. I was doing some math, even though I'm not great at math. I'm not great with numbers or dollars or finances or any of that, but I know some things just need to be done. And so 9,000 Asian American churches, I was doing some math and I realized if I had the time and the opportunity to meet with a church every weekday out of those 9,000, it would take me 36 years to reach all of those churches. I don't have 36 years left. I'm 57 now, and I've got to work smarter. I've got to work in partnership with many others. And most of those 9,000 churches speak Asian languages that I don't speak. I just speak English. So I need to be partnering, collaborating, raising up, building a team, finding funding and resources, all those things to reach those 9,000 churches because it's a worthy goal. It's a need. It's a compelling need. It's an urgent need. And so that's still a prayer item. So as I continue to pray, how do I help more churches, especially those that are Asian Americans, develop their mental health ministry? I've got 12 in conversation. It's taking time to go beyond the conversation and develop the steps. Well, in July of 2023, the White House Initiative for Asian American, Native Hawaiian, and Pacific Islanders Mental Health Summit brought about 100 mental health leaders, both professionals and people with lived experiences, nonprofits, and researchers. And we met together at the Health and Human Services, and somehow I got invited, and it was quite amazing that my small nonprofit initiative, not even a 501c3, just a junior project kind of thing, was invited. I found out it was because the other hat I was wearing. So I wear more than two hats. If you think of NASCAR, that's me. I do quite a number of different projects. I'm a freelance consultant, so I work with a number of different clients and nonprofits in the area of technology, broadly speaking. Anyways, back to the point. So on July 20th, I met Pastor Jin Lee from Atlanta, Georgia, and he has been running a nonprofit called Catalyst Coalition for the past 5 years or so. And we got connected in person. We had connected through Zoom a couple times before that. He is a board member of another mental health ministry, and we've been actively talking since July. And God's been stirring our hearts. We've been resonating with each other. And he was so inspired and motivated by my backstory, reading my book from 2016, Multi-Asian Church, and realized the vision for what we need to do, what needs to be done for Asian Americans to thrive, to experience the abundant life that Jesus has promised. We've got to bring together a whole community, a coalition, an alliance of everyone that touches this work of mental health care and support. And so we're dreaming bigger than ever. Here is a gift of a person who has a kindred spirit and a heart that this is so urgent. He is launching a brand new nonprofit, a brand new nonprofit called Catalyst Wellness Alliance. And we are now taking Erasing Shame as the digital outreach of Christian Asian mental health, and Christian Asian mental health as a program of Catalyst Wellness Alliance. So if you think of the Buddha dolls in Russia, it's like they're stacked on top inside of each other. So Erasing Shame is part of Christian Asian mental health, it's part of Catalyst Wellness Alliance, and the alliance will bring together a community to resource each other, work better together as churches, clinicians, researchers, nonprofits, people with lived experiences. We're just beginning the brainstorming and planning, strategic planning, and fundraising, and all of those things to really make this ecosystem to advance faster, further together, more effectively for Asian Americans to experience mental health and wellness. Big picture, big dream. We need more partners, prayer partners, financial partners, partners that will share in the work and share freely the best practices and lessons learned as they do this work. So I've had a lot of favor with people as we share this vision for both Christian Asian mental health and Catalyst Wellness Alliance. We got to meet with some other people in the months of August, September, October, November, and now it's December. We're continuing to connect with people on Zoom and in person. And one of the cool stories was in end of September. I'm in a small group of 18 people, Asian American leaders, and one of them was a Korean American adoptee, 62 years old. And she's just beginning to discover her Asian American identity journey as a part of her faith. And as I was sharing my backstory, I mentioned, oh yeah, I co-host the Erasing Shame podcast. She lit up and she said, oh, I listened to Erasing Shame and it's been so healing. And that's the amazing thing. God is providing divine provision, providing divine encouragement that the little work that we have done so far with no budget and no staff, God is bringing confirmation along the way, bringing a few dollars here and there to encourage us to keep going. And we are continuing to go. But we are praying for financial partners. So I'm just beginning to learn how to do things a little more professionally and not only personally. Um, and just 3 weeks ago, another divine provision, someone who's read my book from 2016 when he was in seminary. He is now a professional leadership coach, a Christian leadership coach. So he's from Indiana. He reached out to me and is donating his services to help me develop as an organizational leader so that I go beyond being an organic leader to an organizational leader doing the things that only I can do while I raise up a team of people to do this work together. So that's what's happening as we step into 2024, embarking on this new faith adventure to build an organization far and beyond me called Catalyst Wellness Alliance. And I would invite you to partner with us to do this work of advancing and empowering Asian American thriving, especially in the area of mental wellness. So I'll add a link in the description of this video to the blog post and to some of the other related things that I just mentioned. But thanks be to God for providing just the right people at the right times so we can continue this work beyond my lifetime, because it will take all of us to really tackle the crisis of mental health and wellness so that our generation and future generations can thrive, can experience the abundance of God, and be all that God created them and us to be. Thanks for your prayers. Thanks for watching this video.